Hello y'all, Bailey Plays Drums here. So, this is my new thing that I was waiting to put out for a while, and it took me a while because the delay of the order and all this. But check this out. So this is my take on the Sabian XSR Commuter Set pack. Now the highlight of said pack is the 18-inch XSR Monarch. In this instance, a ride, but honestly, it's just an 18-inch XSR Monarch, so it's a crash as much as it is a ride. Instead of the 13-inch XSR Brilliant hats, I wanted something a little bit drier, so I went with Sabian XS20 13 hi-hats, and they are indeed a little bit darker and drier, and not as crispy and brilliant sounding, which is a specific style, and it's never really been my favorite. But then, where they would put a 14-inch XSR 14-inch Fast Crash, I chose to go used and get this AAX Explosion Crash. And it definitely is in a worn condition. It's in very good condition, except for there's just a very patinaed finish to it, so it's not quite as bright as it would typically be in a brilliant finish. I can clean that off if I want, but I actually kind of like it right now, as it helps keep the decay a little bit quicker. So, in comparison, same ride, drier hats, and quote-unquote higher quality, higher end on top. So I think they built this to compete with Zildjian's a custom 12-inch Uptown, 18-inch Uptown Ride, and 14-inch, what did they put with that, a thin, I think, or something equivalent. And I think the XSR one was put out to compete with that, which is a good idea. And I really wanted it until I heard the hi-hats, and I was like, oh, that will never rock. Those 12-inch new beats sound beautiful when they're closed, but then you open them and you hear the wash, and it's like, it would work for a hip-hop kind of gig, but it would never fly for rock. And I heard these, and I knew these would work really well. They actually really worked well. Over here, this is not part of the setup. This is just a stack of one of the Cymbal hi-hats. It's in the 12-inch Wuhan Splash. It sounds like a China stack. This is the snare drum from my practice space. It's a 13-inch, and I just put an ambassador on the top, which a lot of people would not use for a top hat, but I like to control how much dryness I add to my snare drum. And the kick drum's still wide open, pulled the dampening mostly out, so it's going to be a little more bombastic than usual. Hopefully this doesn't all distort. But here's the new setup, and I'm actually going to be using this and these and this over here with my band, Eva in the Garden. So another reason I wanted to get those. XS20 13-inch hats. This is the XS20s. This is the XSR Monarch 18-inch crash ride, whatever you want it to be. This thing is really fun. It's got such a diverse sound. No matter where you play on the bow, there's something new and exciting to expect. The bell, the bell's diverse too. It's got different sounds all over the place. It kind of reminds me of like my K Custom Dry Ride mixed with my K Ride. It's got just a little bit of both worlds, and this is one of my favorite cymbals of all time. I can't believe what these cost new, which is very cheap comparatively. So that's the 18-inch. Moving on, the 14-inch. So this thing, even though it's 14 inches, as I've shown, this thing can really rock out with you if you want to play, heavy. Otherwise, it plays totally well in the other kinds of situations. So yeah, those are the cymbals, and I'm gonna stop and have myself a jam. But these are what I got for the future with the band, and these are gonna be what you're gonna hear for some of the stuff for this week. So thanks very much. Pardon my froggy voice. Pardon my mess. I've been trying to clean because of all that water damage. You have no idea. There's boxes of guitar speakers just piled up over here because I'm a gear hoarder. And thanks to everyone who watched my Slipknot video. 2,300 watches. That's good job, y'all. But thanks for enjoying. This is, like I said, this is my play on the Sabian XSR Commuter pack, which is their kind of adaptation or pull from the idea of like the city pack from Zildjian. So we got the 18-inch Monarch here. Instead of the XSRs, I've got 13-inch just XS20s. And instead of a 14-inch XSR Fast Crash, I got a 14-inch AAX Explosion Crash used. So, you know, I was able to pull that off for less money than I should have. And they sound great. I'm still going to get an XSR 14 undoubtedly at some point. Just like I really probably will get some XSR 14-inch hats and definitely more Monarchs. I love the XSR Brilliant rides too. I think they make great rides, or just they're thin enough for crashing, which is so cool, and like in the price range, that sort of thing's so rare, so it's exciting. Check this stuff out, and thanks a lot for hanging out. Hit subscribe, really appreciate it. We're 3/4 of the way there at 100. I can finally actually do some more functions, which would be great, and I really appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you next time. Goodbye, love. You're all my favorites.